Good morning, YouTube. Today, we're going to see if we can't get the F430 Turteria back on the road.
So are you recording all of the nefarious activities?
If you're new to the channel, my name is Dan, and this is my garage, and this is the 430 Turteria project. And I know some people are like, oh, you shouldn't be calling it a turd or a Turteria, but actually the owner is okay with that. He thinks it's funny, and he knows that he bought a car that needs some work. So here's the thing. We sold this car to our friend Daniel, and we sold to him for really cheap because it needs a lot of work. Well, we're doing that work, so we're gonna end up polishing this Turteria back into an actual Scuderia. Well, it's not a Scuderia, but you know, it'll be proud to be within the Scuderia family of awesomeness, or something like that. We're gonna polish the turd, it's gonna be nice, and then it's not gonna be a turd anymore. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna try and get 3 things done. One is we got the ECUs back from getting tuned, so we're gonna reinstall those. That's the easy thing. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna try and get the top fixed so that we can actually open and close the top again. The third thing we're gonna do is we're gonna replace the fuel pump so that way it doesn't catch on fire, because that would suck. So that's kind of the goal today. We got those 3 things as our main objectives. We still have a bunch of other stuff to do in this car. We still have to replace the brakes, still have to do the engine mount, still have to do tail lights, still have to do exhaust, still have to do headers, still have to do
shrimp and potatoes, shrimp burger, shrimp sandwich. That's about it.
the list goes on and on. It's got a lot of stuff. But hey, that's why it was the Turteria, and that's why it was cheap. But once it's all done, oh yeah, she's gonna be an awesome car. So let's start wrenching and see how far we can get. All right, so there's where the ECUs go, behind the seats. So it's pretty simple, just a couple screws, just pop them back in, connect the connectors, and in they go. So I'm gonna get that done real quick, and then we can move on to the top. Before I pop in this ECU, we already got that side in. I just want to show you, this is why you don't want flood cars, because all of this, if the water comes up into the inside of the car, all of these components are underwater. So even if they replace all the components, all those connectors, all that stuff is going to get rotten and rusted, and the connections are going to fail. And if you've been watching this channel, you know that these cars are really sensitive about electrical issues, so you just don't want a flood salvage Ferrari. It's just not a good idea. So anyway, as you can see, we just popped these guys back in there, and that's it. All right, we got both the ECUs back in place. So now what we're going to do is replace the hydraulic pump for the top. So that pump is right here. So we can see we've got the old one where we ground out and pulled out the hoses. Here's the new one. You can see what Josh was talking about in that video where they actually threaded it and added a screw. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna unscrew these, pop out the lines, just reinstall this one with the existing lines. So we're not gonna change out the lines. The lines themselves were not leaking, so there's no reason to do that. So that should be relatively easy. And then of course we just gotta reinstall all the C-clips and get all the pins aligned and all that stuff, and then get this thing put back together. Then we actually have to add some CHF11S hydraulic fluid into the reservoir, because we have to assume it's probably leaked out quite a bit of fluid. So there's probably a bunch of air in the system, and I think that's also causing the top to not operate properly. Okay, so reinstalling is actually quite simple. Just basically put it back in and reclip everything and get it all in the right places, and that's it. But effectively that's it for the ram. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna pop off the pump. So there's like a little cradle, you can see that, and in there's a fill hole, and we're gonna pour in some CHF11S and get it topped off. Obviously try not to spill it anywhere in the carpet, and then once we do that, then we can hopefully assume that this thing's ready to go. Maybe. Oh, and Daniel's here. Pulled out the hydraulic pump assembly, and you can see there is our fill hole, and the fluid's pretty low. So we're gonna top it off. It's a bit tricky to get this thing out. You have to like unscrew some bolts, push it up, and then kind of angle it out. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass. All right, we gotta pause for a minute. I thought I had some CHF11S, and I don't know where it went. So gotta run to the parts store, get some, and we'll come back and top it off and continue.
2 hours later.
All right, got some CHF202, which is compatible with 11S. We're gonna use that and put it into this pump. So there is a little hole. Let me show you right here. That screw right there is our fill hole. So I'm gonna put some towels down and fill it very carefully. All right, got it all topped up. You can see the fluid level is really close to top now. So let's get that sucker back in there and then move on to the fuel pump. Okay, so the fuel pump's actually pretty easy with the spider. So we propped up the top. We have to disconnect the fuel line and we disconnect this. Oh yeah, it runs the pump. Duh. There you go. So there's that one, and then this one's always a little bit tricky. You gotta like squeeze on it just right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put that on the camera. But anyway, once we get those off, we undo the ring and then swap it out. So there is a special tool that they sell that you can use to get that off, or you could just be like me and use a hammer and a screwdriver, or a hammer and a chisel, or a hammer and punch, or whatever. And you basically put on those little notches right there and just tap them. Catch is that if you're gonna do these, replace the gasket and replace that ring, because those rings crack super easily. So it's probably just a good idea to replace those while you're in there. And a lot of people were like, oh, if you're gonna do one pump, do the other pump. Well, normally, yeah, but on the Spyder, honestly, they're so easy to get to. There's no reason to replace the pump if it's still working. So we're just gonna do the one. We are gonna replace the gaskets on the other one though, because, well, those are cheap. But these pumps are like $500-600. So yeah, you know, that's a pretty substantial amount of money. Okay, you can see on the right is the old fuel pump, the left is the new one. So one thing to note is that I believe all of the new fuel pumps have this kind of more yellowish color than the white color. So if you're wondering if yours have been replaced or not, you can see if it's yellow or white. And if it's yellow, it's probably been replaced. You can see right into the fuel tank. It's kind of crazy. So we're gonna replace the O-ring and put on a new plastic ring and throw in the new pump, and we should be ready to rock and roll. There we have it, all set, ready to rock and roll. Super easy to install. I mean, again, you gotta be a little bit careful to make sure you don't crack this stupid plastic, but not too bad at all. So again, replace the ring, replace the O-ring, and then of course the pump itself. So when we first start up, it's gonna have no fuel in this line, and the pump's got a prime and stuff, so we probably only have the engine running wonky. We may even get some check engine lights. So we should expect that. Okay, YouTube, well, we certainly, I'm pretty sure, solved the fuel leak. Hopefully we solved the convertible top. So we're gonna try that out. I think I'm gonna start the car because it hasn't been starting in a while, and I don't want it to burn off all the battery running the hydraulic top a bunch of times. So we may have to pull the car out of the garage because I don't want to asphyxiate. Okay, we'll see if it wants to start up. Obviously it's pissed off about the, about the convertible top. Yeah, like I said, it's gonna be pissed off for a second because of the fuel. There it goes. Oh, we got a bad exhaust rattle, but it's running. The top went up and locked in place, and it didn't pee on me. Oh, I just saw a drip. Okay. It could just be because of how much fluid. Oh no. Let's see if it's gonna come out right there or not. Let's try closing the top, reopening it. Nope, definitely did not shut all the way. Well, let's put it the other way. Shoot. Well, let's see if we pee fluid out again. I've been able to close the top successfully. Well, so we fixed that leak, so that's good. We got one thing done, but it's still, the top does not appear to be going to the proper place. Yeah, there's still a bunch of fluid dripping from when it was, you know, not working correctly, so we gotta fix that, but I think we're getting somewhere. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on back here yet. Yeah. Shut up. I don't think it folds back all the way. So it doesn't seem to go down all the way right there. Yeah. Whoa, so I cycled it a few times and it actually shut on its own. Holy crap. I think that may have been the problem. So it looks like there's something that was binding up here. We probably need to lubricate some stuff, but yeah, we've got a functioning convertible again. Holy crap. Well, YouTube, it needs some adjusting, and we still gotta fix the other parts that are broken on the top, but holy crap, that worked. It actually was able to open and close on its own. I'm super pleased with that. That did not go, I thought for sure it was gonna need something else, but yeah, that's awesome. That was awesome. And it was only a less than $300 fix. Crazy. So that's working. So we still have to do the exhaust. We're going to get to that soon. We still have a bunch of other stuff to do in this car. So that means you should probably like, share, and subscribe because, well, you get to see us work on this car and turn it from the Turteria into something awesome, something that Daniel can enjoy and be proud of. So we'll keep chugging along on this thing. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Please go visit our website, normalguysupercar.com. There you can buy parts and services for your car. And check out our cars on NG Supercars. See if there's anything that you want. Send us an email, sales@ngsupercars, if you want to make an offer on something we have. That's going to do it. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to be doing a lot of cool car stuff, so you're going to want to stay tuned. It's going to be sweet.